There's no question. I mean, when I go down the list, up and down the list with HBO, and who would be possible and who's not possible, it always seems to be, we fight them, but just not next. So that's why we're going to make a shirt, Triple G, just not next. So people don't want to say they don't want to fight them, but it's just hard to get them in the ring at that particular time.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I want to give you guys some updates on Canelo. I was born ready. And Gennady, hey Max, no, yeah right Max, I'm ready now, not for future. So let's talk about it. I want to give you guys some updates. I did 2 other videos expressing my concern with the WBC resolution that they came upon for the Canelo versus Triple G fight. Check out those 2 videos. I want to give you guys some updates. Now, according to Tom Loeffler and Golden Boy, who spoke to the LA Times' Lance Pugmire, here's some interesting things that I was able to dig up. So according to the LA Times interviews with the 2 of them, Tom Loeffler is saying that he has it guaranteed that Canelo is going to fight Gennady Golovkin in September in the fall time. If not, by default, Golovkin gets the belts. He gets stripped and Golovkin will get the belt. And let me just talk about that. Like, this is my issue with this, and it hasn't changed even finding this out. It's cool, and it'll make Canelo look bad if he gets stripped, and then people will say, oh, okay, Canelo just wanted no parts of Gennady Golovkin. However, that still is not a great deal based on the fact that Gennady Golovkin, we know he's a good fighter. We just don't know how good he is until he steps up with that elite level name. Like Manny Pacquiao fought Marco Antonio Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez. Floyd Mayweather had his outings with the 6-foot-tall Diego Corrales, who was a knockout artist, Arturo Gatti, Gennaro Hernandez. So we're able to see those guys become pay-per-view stars based on the echelon of fighters they were fighting as they were coming up. We know Golovkin's good. In fact, I don't really see anyone at middleweight really beating him, but I still got to see it with my own 2 eyes how good he is, because I could speculate all day. You know what I mean? People, oh, Peter Quillen's going to destroy Danny Jacobs, but that's not what happened. You know what I mean? People pick Broner to beat Maidana. That's not what happened. So we can prophesize and speculate how good Golovkin is, but the proof is in the pudding. Like Bill Cosby said, well, I guess he's not a good example because he's going through his little rape case. I'd like to talk to you about the pudding and the rape with the Quaaludes. Like, yeah, so we'll leave Bill Cosby out of it. But the point is that we know Golovkin's good. It's just, if you're a C, D, B level fighter, you probably won't beat him. We just need to see Golovkin in there with someone who is considered at that level, that has some power, a good chin, big fight experience. You know what I mean? They're not going to just break and buckle at the first sign of danger or his power or whatnot. You know what I mean? They're going to know what to do if they get knocked down. Look at power punchers against other fighters like Maidana versus Broner. Broner, I mean, having a background and just having heart, he got back up. He got hurt twice in the fight. He probably got hurt more than that, but he got knocked down twice. You look at James DeGale versus Andre Durrell. He had him badly hurt in the first 2 rounds. Durrell won the second half of that fight. You know what I'm saying? So we got to see Golovkin in there with the Andre Wards, the Carl Froches, the top dogs at middleweight or whoever. You know what I mean? Just to see how good he really is. So my thing with him getting the belts, that's cool if Canelo gets stripped, but it still doesn't add to his resume. It'll just mean Canelo got stripped and basically avoided the fight, wasn't ready for the fight or whatever, but it still doesn't put a name on his resume. So I still don't like the deal. Again, there's a chance that the fight could happen. Golden Boy is saying that Canelo's on board to fight him at 160. Eddie Gomez said that, I guess, to the LA Times. That is news to me because everything I've heard beforehand was all about, we're not fighting him at 160. We have to let it marinate, and he has to come down to 155. So we'll see. We'll be able to see if Golden Boy, if we can call their bluff or not. I would love for this fight to happen at the full 160 because, I mean, he's a lineal middleweight champion. It doesn't really make sense. I told you I'm not big on catchweights, especially 155 really doesn't make as much sense. Now, we'll be able to call we'll be able to call Canelo and Golden Boy's bluff, possibly depending on who they fight next. Depending on who they fight next and at what weight is going to tell me a lot personally, because if they fight, let's say, the Gabe Rosado, Josh Clottey winner at anything under 160, then it doesn't really make sense. How is that going to prepare you for the guy who's considered the best middleweight if you're fighting the Rosado Clottey winner, for example, at 156, 157, 155. You know what I mean? You might as well just try to acclimate to the 160 if you're really serious about fighting Golovkin in the fall. Now, the other issue is this. Where can this fight take place? This is a big mega fight. One of the locations that is of interest is a great location. Jerry Jones has expressed interest in wanting to help grow Gennady Golovkin by hosting a Golovkin fight. Now, they're talking about possibly making Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin. Hey, guys, at the At&T Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play in Texas. I love that idea. I'm a West Coast dude, so if it was up to me just to be selfish because it would be easier to get to, I would love if the fight happened in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, but I can't front. If it were to happen in Texas at the At&T Stadium, great. That's like a perfect location. Canelo has proven that he can bring an electric crowd. He fought James Kirkland at the Minute Maid Park and spun him around in a couple rounds. He fought Austin Trout when he was undefeated in the Alamo Dome, I believe it was, in San Antonio. And Golovkin has a entertaining, fan-friendly style. He calls it Mexican style. There's a Mexican demographic out there, even though he didn't really fight quote-unquote Mexican style versus David Lemieux. Based on the style matchup and the magnitude of the pay-per-view, I think that's a great location at the At&T Stadium. Plus, the At&T Stadium can host a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's a football stadium. I think that would be great for boxing. I don't know the last fight for a fact that happened there. I know Pacquiao fought there twice against Josh Clottey and Antonio Margarito. And in both of those fights, it was really the Pacquiao show. That was when Pacquiao was really booming and a big pay-per-view draw and a big pay-per-view star and looking real good. So the other guys, Clottey and Margarito, were more the B side and that kind of stuff. But with this, you have two bona fide stars, two guys who are, I mean, obviously Canelo's the A side, especially judging by their last pay-per-views numbers. Canelo versus Cotto did 900,000 versus Gennady Golovkin versus Lemieux did about 97 to 150,000. So clearly Canelo is the A side, but Golovkin has had no problem selling out venues and stuff like that. Plus you add him versus Canelo. That's a great strong rivalry, and I think it would be great to happen in Dallas at the Cowboys Stadium. Let me know where you think the fight should happen, and do you think it will happen in the fall? Will Canelo actually fight him at 160? According to Tom Loeffler, he's confident that this fight will take place. Go check out the LA Times if you want more on the interview. And we'll see. We'll see who's bluffing. We'll see how bad Canelo really wants to fight. And if he wants to fight at the 160. I mean, it's great for boxing. Like I said, if it happens in Texas at the At&T Stadium, definitely would be great for boxing. Triple G's doing Apple commercials. They had him at a Dallas Cowboys game earlier this year, so it makes all the sense in the world to bring those two fighters together in that venue. Let me know if you think the fight will happen. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.